Hey, welcome back. This here is the little plug of the day, or for the way, I should say. But don't forget, you can save 15% off at Link. That's LINQ. And yes, you do have a link code, which is, by the way, at checkout. And definitely, this is one thing that'll help you creators and businessmen and women of all just plug and connect the things that is right for you. Link has they have badges, they have stretch rubber bands, they have little tags that you can put on the back of your phone or wherever whatever you travel with, and they also have like actual digital business cards as well. So definitely by any means necessary, you got to get you a link, and hopefully it could definitely help plug the things that you need to plug. You know what I mean? So again, that's by the way at checkout, and save your 15%. Now, for those that would like to support the show, donate. It is more than appreciated, and I am so gracious for that you have no idea. If you would like to do so, you can definitely donate via PayPal at Wickush. That's WICKUSH. Again, if you would like to donate, support the show, we here, by the way, appreciate you. Real talk, real talk. And you can definitely do so via PayPal at Wickush, WICKUSH. Thank you. Let's get back to the show. All right. Man, some of this is as organic as possible. I don't know, there's a little here and there. I'll get better with this over time. I promise. I will definitely get better with this over time. All right. So this here is episode 1. Um, and I think as I go, I'm gonna just talk. Obviously, because that's what you do on the fucking podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure I speak into it very nice and politely right there. There we go. I like doing my voice too. Um, I actually like the way I sound, to be honest with you. One of the reasons I do music. Or maybe one of the reasons music does me. Yeah. But anyway, I think I'm gonna try to name this podcast at the end. Now, I just want to say this. Now, I wanted to do a podcast for the longest. That's just uh, my little desk situation I got going on next to me. So don't mind too much of it. Oh no! One second. I'm still here. Still here. It's actually funny. So, I'm lighting incense at the moment. Uh, the reason I say this is because I always know when I watch listen to a good podcast. Granted, yeah, I do believe that's a lot for me to say that I'm a good podcast. And technically, I haven't even began podcasting. I've just been introing. But anyway, let's get down to the meat and potatoes. But look, so I wanted to do a podcast, and when I wanted to do a podcast, I had nobody to do it with. Right? And Now, I have a lot going on in my mind. I have a lot to talk about. So many things I could say, but I don't know if I would truly stay on topic. So I'm just gonna try to do my best. There is no co-host, nobody to keep me in tune with what I'm saying, nobody to keep my mind like bumper cars or any guidance. It's just me. If I don't have the words, then I don't have the words. Hopefully I can find the words because then that makes this magic. But yeah, basically I wanted to do a podcast with someone and I didn't have anyone to do a podcast with. And it was, to be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. It almost came off quite bad. For me, it made me feel bad. The fact that, because I looked at my life and it was kind of more, it wasn't, because podcasting isn't necessarily something you do as a business thing. You don't go and find somebody to go and speak with. That sounds fucking crazy. You should have conversations with people in your life. And at one point in time, I thought about doing it with my girlfriend. But, I enjoy talking. I like our life to be our life, not our life to be our podcast. But anyway, I'm here. So, I want to give an introduction of who I am, but I kind of don't. Because to say who I am means I'm not even giving myself a chance to be what I could be or what I am in so many ways. That's one of the reasons I never liked labels. Because to be a label means that you can't be another label. And I'd rather not be a label and just learn knowledge and then just create a whole new label or whatever and then call myself, not even call myself that. Usually people give you labels. You don't usually give yourself a label. But whatever the fuck you call it that. And yeah. But anyway, that was something that really made me look at myself, look at my life. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to give a genuine, you know what, I won't, maybe it's not necessarily an introduction of who I am. Maybe I could still give a perception of what I've lived thus far. I think I'll do it that way. The reason I say that is because some of those things, life is like a path or a line that is being drawn on a long piece of paper. Only thing is the ink hasn't ran out and the pen or pencil hasn't been lifted yet. If you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. So in that regard, I guess you stay labelless to stay free. But sometimes, a person like me, let me turn this down slightly. I don't want it popping on. Just slightly. There we go. Yeah. But I really like a good conversation. Now, really, I will say I don't really have conversations with myself. Now, it may sound like I do, and maybe I do. You know what? I take that back. Maybe I've been having conversations with myself internally in my head, but I haven't been talking it out. And I'll say something. Maybe this is the precursor of those that listen to the things that I say thus far going forward. But I always notice that the safest place in the world is in your mind. As soon as you open your mouth and you write what is a soupy resource in an intangible electric way in your brain, as soon as you give that, as soon as you twist your tongue and press words and bend light from your mouth to give light, manifestation, embodiment to the ideas or intangible thoughts that you have in your head, Um, Sometimes that can be controlled and can't be controlled, and sometimes it's very hard. Uh, or we just live in a world where information is not truly understood or valued the way it truly should be. You know. So, but anyway. By the way, I'm rolling a blunt. Yeah, it is my blunt time. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm a musician. My name is Bushwick. I probably should have started the podcast off by saying that, but it feels amazing to actually be able to say that. My name is Bushwick. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I've been working on music for a very long time. And I hope that doesn't sound like a complaint. But I will say this: I wasn't always musically inclined. I was always artistic. Notice I said artistic, not autistic. You dumb fucks. But no. The reason I say that is because, like, okay, my life was brutally attacked by religion at a very young age, and the reason I say that is because you'll realize why I said those words, and later on podcasts is express myself and give you perceptions of views and angles that I've lived or how they've affected my energy pattern. Thus, resulting more of a painful result rather than a smooth process, a smooth flow of emotion, thought, and the way the human path should be. But it wasn't really, it didn't come from that way when things are bombarded. And to be honest, just by me even talking and expressing myself, I'm exposing my mind. And this is one of the things I was actually worried about. You can't hide your intelligence. By the time you put it out, most people are usually afraid and scared. That's why this podcast is actually weirdly going to work out for me. And I'll tell you why. It's because I'm so comfortably who I am that I come off as dangerous. So I come off as, for example, there's this analogy that I don't want to give right now. I'm going to stay away from it because sometimes I don't want to stay in the same mind constructs of saying things or using the same examples. But I do or would like to inspire. I would like to add fire. I would like to motivate. A lot of me, hearing the way I talk, you may sound like I talk slower or I sound tired or whatever the case may be, or blah, blah, blah. Over the years, I've learned a few things when it comes to the mindset, the inner workings of the cerebral, or just the layout and the mechanics of the human mind, and just experience of just functionality. Most people don't listen. And usually, if you take not listening and then you take no emotional intelligence, you usually end up with misunderstandings on high levels and misunderstandings on subtle levels. Now, the misunderstanding on subtle levels are actually the worst ones, because the misunderstandings on high levels are the ones that, if it's true love and honesty in it, such as a brotherhood, maybe a relationship and love, you all have the ability to have the blessing to have anger with each other. And anger allows you to clean out what that misunderstanding was, if done properly and balanced. Because there's nothing wrong with our emotions. Our emotions are just expressions. Now, it is something wrong when, I guess, you could be in too much of a wrong emotion, because the only thing about emotions is to realign us. The only purpose of pain is to let you know that something is hurting and should be removed, or whatever the case may be. Only thing is, our perception of what pain is and should be can also be rearranged and counteract our actual nature due to how we think things are supposed to be
due to how we see things being, so we play it out, being completely unaware of how and what we're doing, or how we're feeling, and where we truly want to go. That's why most people express their emotions and use words, but they don't really reflect the path or the direction that they truly want to go with the people, or the direction that in their life. I come from Chicago. I'm in hip hop. We breathe, we are death culture. Believe it or not, a lot of people talk about what type of culture we are. Nigga, we are death culture. We do nothing but celebrate death in so many ways. It's ridiculous. But most of us don't see life properly. There's so many people talking when they shouldn't be talking. So the funny weird thing is that I'm doing a podcast now, right? So as I'm doing a podcast, I'm rolling this blunt. Almost done with it. Honey backwood all day, every day. But yeah, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. But I'm pretty sure it was amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I am a musician, and I do want to do some music and get back to it in the essence of how and when I'm supposed to. So, you know how that goes. There we go. So, I got another topic that I want to get in. If what I was saying was some really good, dope shit, which I believe it is, I'm gonna listen back, and then I'll write it down and then talk about it in the next one, or expel upon it. Expound upon it. My bad. So this next topic, as I light this blunt because I rolled it. Let me just light it actually now. Hold on. All right. Oh, I had to light this. My bad. I had low key. I damn near zoned out and forgot about y'all. Even though I'm looking at the damn mic in my face. But forward progression or forward motion, forward movement. I think forward movement is better. So I guess I'm gonna always have an introductory energy throughout the entire conversation. I think it helps with painting a picture. Not from my perspective, just giving you information. You do with thy will with it. This is what I live, so I don't think I could say what it is. I mean, obviously I could say my perception, but perspective. But hey, so notice as I talk, I will speak a particular way. I'm from Chicago. I was born in 1990. October. I think it's my birthday. This ain't that deep, but I'm letting you know where I'm from. I'm not from some whatever, but I do speak different, or maybe I do. So I've been heard or told, but basically this is the case. So I'm 30 solar cycles here on this planet. I decided to word that way, you know. Now, it's funny. I'm in America. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. I say that because although I know I've been around for 30 solar cycles, I don't feel like a number, right? If you ask me what I feel like, I wouldn't even really tell you what I feel like necessarily. I could tell you what I feel like. I could tell you what I feel like. I feel like a lot of ways. But before I tell you what I feel like, I think it paints a broader picture when you know what I look like. Maybe, yeah, I think so. Because it all paints a picture of who we are in our life. So, if anything, I'll say I'm 30 solar cycles. Here in Chicago, what was it going with? I was on forward motion. So with forward movement, forward motion, I noticed that here at this point in my life, mentally, I had the opportunity to allow my fears to stagnate me, hold me back, freeze me up, tense me up, or not at all. They just alter me in a negative light, and I become very active in a very destructive way in so many ways. You know. Now, this isn't really about me. I really want this to be a really nice, dope podcast about just forward life and just about the life in general. I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound depressed. I don't want to sound down. All that, I could hear it in my voice to a degree. There's a heaviness that I feel in my throat chakra, and I know things take aligning, and balancing and feeling comfortable. Sometimes just feeling comfortable is so foreign, so alien to us. So it makes forward motion for progression. It makes continuation. It makes extension on what already has been done, what already is, to be something better, more, different. And I think that's when you're getting outside the box. I never want to be a loop-tracked spirit. I don't think anybody wants to. Nobody wants to be stuck in something. Because what it does is it once you're stuck in something, it creates a sense of tunnel vision on an intangible level where, you become unaware of other things, But anyway, I do want to say something. I guess if I do sound sad in some ways, which I feel, I have gone through things. I have gone through pain, but this isn't always about that. It could be about that, but that's not what I'm focusing on. But I do want to give an explanation of what is, and what is me. I am what is. You are here for me. All right? Okay. Now, I think it's definitely going to be best for me to get a co-host over time. I could talk and go on forever. But I like this now. I think this is therapeutic for me. I think I don't even know if I ever listen to these, to be honest with you. But I do know that this is my podcast, man. And I wanna treat this. Not I'm gonna treat it. It is gold. Why is it gold? Okay. is gold? Gold is a mineral. What is a mineral? Well, they always say gold is in the middle of every star, right? We're little stars. Our bodies produce gold. A lot of people don't know that, but it is what it is. If you don't believe me, look up at the fact that gold is sifted through your feces. And see, if you have a specific low vibrational brain set that alters your eyes, your perception of value and things you see, you'll say, oh, they can sift up to 40, $60 million worth of poop a year from a person or or a city, you know. And what monetary value, what does that truly mean when your life is on the line? How much is an apple when it's the last apple on the planet? Even though there will never be a last apple on the planet. The one thing about apples, even though I'm not trying to be weird or stupid or anything, but one thing about apples is that apples don't have a problem with all dying together. Apples would rather die together. Flowers die together. You know. Funny thing is, human beings are portable flowers. I really do believe so. Now, when you say human beings, when you say people, those are weird, tricky words. Like, the word human does not mean the word people. Okay, because if you mean people, there's different types of people. But if you mean human, you mean hue of man. Man with hue. Dark man. Hue is dark. So a dark man. A dark man. So that's what you're basically saying. If you say human, you're saying dark man. But people don't agree with that. And rightfully so, because that's not how we actually use or view the term of the word. But we use these words that mean these things, and we don't really use the proper usage of them. Then on top of that, shit, we don't even use the words, like, for example, well, I don't have to say that. All I was going to say was that as black people, we use the same word just with different tonality or frequency in it, which gives it a different energetic meaning, even though we're linguistically using the same analytic word as far as the same structure of a word. We're just saying it differently, you know. Example, if you don't know what I mean. I got an aunt. My aunt had 8 kids. And my aunt, she had no problem making an announcement of cussing everybody out at the same time. Because she had too many kids, too much shit going on. She had time to one at a time. No, you see this, I guess that's just how she learned to do it, you know. So basically, she'll go through we'll all be in a room to a degree, or we'll be in the car and she'll cuss everybody out, and she won't say anybody's name other than motherfucker. And everybody knows who's being talked about and who she means. So that's black people for you. Mommy, I'd like to give a shout out. I would like to give a shout out to a very special person in my life. Yeah. This person loves me, and I love this person. Now, love is a very... I want to use my words very carefully. I want to use my words very my way. Me and this person, we magnate to each other. Although there's static at times, there's also growth. And, as a black man, you gotta understand something. Or as a man in general, or maybe a person in general. Yeah, I think a person in general. Nowadays, you could be really, I think you have a lot of horny or just sexual feelings and vibes. But when you look at the world of today, nature doesn't always align with what is. And that's not okay, but it's okay sometimes. And you have to use what is to what's best for you. And you have to understand that. You also understand what you're working with, what time you're working with, what people you're working with, what mindset you're working with, what emotional body you're working with, what mindset you're working with, what stress, what confidence, what strength. What are you? Who are you? Why do you feel like you are who you are? And I think a lot of people see in America, you have the opportunity to be this program thing. But if you don't be this program thing, right, it becomes something else. And then when you become something else, you have to feel that with substance. Feel that with substance. And substance isn't really real in today's world. People don't speak substance. People don't have substance. And what is substance? Substance is what are we talking about? What are we doing? What means something? You know, I myself have lost focus at many times of depending on the dollar. Leaning on money, leaning on the dollar is the most fictitious thing in the world because you don't lean on actual skill. Now, granted, you don't have enough time to actually learn to do everything in the world. That makes sense. And I understand it. But if you do what you love forever and you teach what you love, there will be those that know how to do what you do. And everybody will always have everything. And I believe that. I don't believe money is needed. I believe if you make beautiful music and people like beautiful music and those other people make beautiful tomatoes and somebody else makes beautiful tires and somebody else makes beautiful cars, somebody else makes beautiful car planes and somebody else makes beautiful fucking surprise parties and somebody else makes beautiful foot massages and somebody else makes beautiful, whatever the case may fucking be. If we all just do whatever the fuck we do, it's beautiful, and we just keep making it in abundance, everybody will be around beautifulness. Now, balance, because what's beautiful to one is not always beautiful to others, but that is a lie. See, the thing is, we all have beauty in us, and we all understand beauty, and we all are connected in beauty. See, the thing about art is subjective. It's bullshit, and I'll tell you why. Art is not subjective. See, everything is connected to a numeric rhythm and pattern, meaning things will hit the way things will hit. Now, that always means different things. You can always like what you like because it hit you in that way. Now, everybody is different in so many different ways. So many people's understandings of the same word means something. Like, for example, you can walk in a room, walk on stage, and you can shout pancakes. And now you have, if you're in a restaurant, you have maybe 100, 150 people with different mindsets and experiences with pancakes. Not everybody's experience is the same. Maybe somebody was making pancakes, had a dog, or somebody was living with somebody that tripped, left some oil out, tripped, knocked over the pan, their hand fell on the hot iron while they was making pancakes, and it ran over their foot. Maybe somebody else had pancakes, cut little holes in the middle, laid a woman down, put the pancakes over her breast with the nipples through the holes, and just ate them and poured syrup on them, ate them slowly like that. There's so many different experiences with this pancake that you just said. Funny things, I actually forgot what was the reason why I even just started saying that. But, hey. This is my first podcast. I like to do more. As my traction goes, to be honest with you, I like to work with people. I like to get a team, but more importantly, I do music as well. So my music is usually what I try to spend my time on, but I guess if it's not working out or it's not doing or I can't get it going, and it's not that I can't. I just keep moving with my energy. You know, everything will move as it needs to move. And I really want to be able to speak comfortably from my throat, speak comfortably, always. A lot of times I haven't been as comfortable as I need to be. But I need to get back to that, the essence. The essence of me. But I will say, thank you for coming this way. I just made up my name. And I'm sorry. I made something up and I tried to go with it, and then I just fucked it up after that. But this is the podcast. This is that Battle Way. I hope you enjoy it. And it's Bushwick. I'm out.